waiting for it to say so. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our special missions art stream, our Blackbook art stream. Today we are doing the Blackbook, and I am joined by Cujo, author of the Blackbook and artist of the Blackbook. So say hello, Cujo.
What's going on, brother? And friends.
And yeah, this one is going to be, we've got a page. So let me show you guys where we're starting from. This is what Cujo sent me as the lay-in sketch just for what we're doing for this page. And then I've been slowly just breaking that down into sort of anatomy and getting it right. So it's getting it to a point where I can start actually rendering it. What you should be seeing on my screen is the image of the dude and the image of the page, the reference that I'm using to get him right. So, but let's have some shout outs quickly.
There's nobody here yet, brother. Is there?
Well, I've got a whole bunch of people. I've got I've got MC DJ AC. Here we go. Hold.
Phoniness.
Oh, okay. So where are you on the comment side of it, or are you on the private chat? Because it is easy to get the two confused.
Hold on now. Yeah. Okay, now I'm here. And I do feel sheepish. But how come I can't comment?
Should be allowed to comment.
Oh, I have to log in?
Yes, you have to log in.
This is good live streaming stuff right here. Hello, friends. Let's see, who do we got here? MC, thank you, brother, for always turning up. I don't know Carter, but appreciate you. Let's see.
And go for it, man. I'm just gonna keep an eye on the YouTube feed just to make sure everything's good. Hopefully it doesn't play my audio. There we go. It's playing my audio. Of course it is. Cool. As long as I can see everybody. Okay, good. Sweet. Okay, good. We are good. Everything's okay. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to keep on drawing. We're going to keep talking about stuff. So okay, so where do I start? So as I mentioned earlier, I've got all of this lay-in sketch that I've done. I've got a lot of actual design to do because I'm busy interpreting Cujo's design into what works in my style. And yeah, and that's the whole point of this. It's like, this is basically, without feeling too precious about it, this is my splash page. So I get to shine a little bit, not just be Mr. Color Guy. And yeah, so I'm gonna sort of explore the design here as much as I can. You know, we're not going to get to the final in this stream, unfortunately, because there's not enough time. But you will get to see something, which is cool. So, and I'm just working out the design language I want for this as well. So, because as you can see, he's got like these claws. If you guys are fans of the book, or if you've picked up the Blackbook, or if you've read it or checked it out or something, then you might start recognizing some stuff. So, anyway, it's enough me. I gotta focus. Hey, Dustin. And hello, John, and everybody else. Guys, just a small heads up. The chat in StreamYard is a little bit delayed from my side. So if I see you late, I am sorry. But as I see you, I will acknowledge you, okay? But yeah, let's get some drawing in. Cujo, tell them about yourself. I mean, longtime fans of the show should know who you are. But more importantly, in this specific situation, you are the author and artist of the Blackbook. So, to somebody who doesn't know what the Blackbook is, go for it. Tell them what it is. Anytime now. Oh, and we lost Cujo there for a second. So yeah, Cujo, I was just telling them that you're going to tell them everything about what the Black Book is while I draw your cool character.
Whew, I did love StreamYard. Am I back?
Yes, you are. You are
Okay.
back.
I did love StreamYard. First of all, I will show off the star of the show, though he may be sluggish. I will talk about the Black Book in a second, but since Dustin Cordish is here, brother, I got to represent. That would be your Hooded Cobra Commander line art on this T-shirt. I think Dead Air. Are we back? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, we can all
hey,
hear
cool
you.
Guy, can you hear me? Well,
Gotcha.
Okay. This isn't nearly as interactive as I was hoping, but I think it's because of lag. Okay, Cool Guy can hear me. The Black Book. Let's see. The Black Book is a journey. You're all on it. You've come to a place in your life, and somebody says, what you believe is not true. Then you're aware of the Black Book, because you've had to reshuffle the deck. And the Black Book is a story. It's 44 pages, probably 48 with this second printing. It has different authors throughout the book. I wanted to treat it more like a found document, like something you might find or discover. It has a lot of the Joe authors in it. It runs 25. 20 of that is for the book. 5 of it is for the shipping. It is steep, but this is the age of indie creators, so that money goes to printing, and we have a pretty good model. You know, nobody's going to get rich, but if the book did go viral, you might be able to take a vacation off it. But aside from that, what else would you like to know, Paul? I believe you're drawing a character called the Scorpion. He's an allusion to the Desert Scorpion. What more would you like to know?
Yeah, tell them, like, who is he? Like, what's he about? Like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? You know, what do you want to? Because I know, like, I kind of have an idea of what he is. I don't know if good guy or bad guy is like really a fair sort of label to put on it, because I think he's more than that. But I think it's worth, like, exploring, because I mean, he does look like a bad guy. Well,
he is. Well, the book is, if you're out there, if you're a creative, maybe you're doing an indie comic right now, you know that collaborating is just that. Everybody puts their ideas in. And I believe when we first started doing Scorpion, I had it in my mind. I wanted this to be a Joe book, but it had to be subtle. So we kind of took the Desert Scorpion and made him a little bit more literal. And I think he went red on the helmet early on, and that just kind of stuck. He's got some khakis on, some gunmetal up top. But I wanted to make him just a customer that you didn't want him to get close to you. A lot of pointy edges. His wit is real pointed. Just a guy that, in fact, okay, here's the deep dish on Scorpion. I can't tell you everything. Maybe I will one day. But no, I think I wanted him to be the guy that's more athletic than you. You know that guy, Paul? You probably got to have a guy at the dojo who can probably kick a little bit higher than you, stuff like that.
Oh yeah. You always have that guy. Yeah.
So I didn't want Desert Scorpion to be an outright villain. I wanted you to be the guy that you're just like, dude, it's not even fair. You know, the guy who's completely ripped. He's probably a gym rat, whatever. But yeah, that's a roundabout way. And I think my audio is completely off cue because of the layers, etc. Cool Guy says that confuses me. Which bit, brother? But I know that I've been trying to get Paul on a live stream because I do want the Black Book to be not only a comic book that finds your shelf, but honestly one that finds your getaway bag. It's a deep cut, guys. Yes, there is comic books. There are superheroes. I'm a truth teller, guys. I sit on the floor. It's a book about people searching for truth in the G.I. Joe frame, in the G.I. Joe lens. It's not one to be missed. Is it, Paul? Have you ever seen a book like this?
I've seen a lot of comic books. Dude, it's the best way to explain it is it's got its own like style of storytelling. It's a style that you don't see a lot. It's something that sort of disappeared, at least in my opinion. It disappeared around the sort of when guys were getting very experimental with comic books and stuff in the 90s. So this is a book that like sort of feels like it comes from that time, and we sort of seem to be going back there again with comic books because of how the industry is changing. And so yeah, I would say I haven't seen a book like this in a while, but it's cool because it doesn't have the normal comic book constraints. You're definitely doing your own thing.
Mm-hmm. If I miss you in the comments, it's because it's updating like a mule. But action figure expert, you're up in SoCal.
Oh, welcome back.
Yes, it's been a while. This is a guy who constantly breaks Twitter with his pictures, and he just moves silently. He must be a ninja or something. But it's good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Well, I'm just going to take 2 seconds quickly just to do a few shout outs, man. Sorry, I'm seeing the comments are exploding.
Do it.
Yeah, Dustin, it is a pretty good shirt. Let me know. I know the guy who makes them. I can hook you up, dude. Action figure expert,
That's funny.
What's up? Cool guy, it's cracking. And Gaz. Hey, Gaz, how you,
Gaz
buddy?
is here?
Gaz is here. I actually spotted Gaz on a David Finch podcast the other day. David Finch was drawing Jason Voorhees, and I spotted Gaz there. I was like, I know Gaz. Welcome back, brother Malachi. Always good having you on the chat box, or in the chat books, should I say. And then just another shout out to John Reed, to Carter Briggs, and to of course to Mr. MCDJ ACDC. The name that's so nice you can't say it more than 5 times in a row quickly. But anyway, yeah, there we go. So this is so quickly before I carry on, or before I give you the mic back, this is feeling it's getting the right feel for me. It's starting to feel a little bit too Spawn, and that I need to just dial that back because I don't want to be Spawn. I love Spawn. I think Spawn is great, and I dig Todd McFarlane, but I don't want to try and be Todd McFarlane. In fact, I would like to add a different sort of twist to this character, and I definitely will be in a second. I'm just sort of finding my feet first as I'm doing this, because it's quite tricky. Drawing live, if anybody here in the comments is an illustrator, I know 1 or 2 of you are, it's one thing to draw in the safety of your own space. It's another thing to draw with a whole bunch of people looking at you. I kind of feel like if I was doing this naked, it wouldn't even be more difficult. Although, please don't hold me to that, because no naked Paul appearances for the foreseeable future. Until I suppose I really need the money. Anyway, cool. Back to Cujo.
Fans only, Paul edition. Only fans, rather. Let's see. The Black Book. There still seems to be some confusion. I would say it's more akin to G.I. Joe Conspiracy. You're going to see some G.I. Joe folks in it. And this is the second printing. I believe it was G.I. Gary, the venerable G.I. Joe podcaster, who I think they're covering the Devil's Due run right now. So keep your eyes open. But he kind of, I forgot what I was going to say about Gary, but it was important.
Well, Gary's
I got
cool,
been in. No, there's a lot of people that have supported it, and I'll find him along the way. But I wish these comments would update.
If they don't update, just click on private chat and then click back to comments, and it sort of does like a bit of a refresh. It does, yeah, you can do that. That sometimes.
Do we have any independent comic creators? Can I hashtag worth a damn? Did anybody find their way in here that normally isn't in here? Perhaps some conspiracy folk. Let's see. No, the Black Book is just that. It's hard for me to pin down too, and I think I've heard a lot of authors talk about their work. It's always tricky, but definitely the Black Book is it's a little bit of Sholey. I took some of his freewheeling line art. The words are outside of bubble boxes.
Guys, Cujo, if I may, just to help you out a little bit there. I think if I have to explain what the Black Book is, just in terms of what kind of comic it is, Steve and myself, we're toy guys. We like to play with our toys, and we like to build narratives with our toys. Steve more than myself, but then again, we both do that. But the thing is, the Black Book is kind of like Cujo's toy box, and it's kind of like how he envisions certain things could happen in the G.I. Joe world. So think of it as an unofficial GI Joe book, created by an official GI Joe fan. I think that's the best way to put it. So you're definitely getting a peek into Cujo's brain.
Could happen or has happened. Let me go even deeper cut, since people will find this in the post. I think. Do you remember the cartoon? I think it's Skeletons in the Closet. It takes place on winter solstice. They go to Destro's castle. He's got that purple tentacle creature in the basement, right?
Oh, that very sort of Cthulhu-esque episode. Yeah, love that.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, you may or may not see it in the Black Book. So it's definitely rooted in GI Joe. It's not just tangential. But yeah, what else can I say? It's just it's a love letter, and it's one of those products of the age of information, because the GI Joe network, there's talent. Everybody is completely talent rich around here, and would you agree with that, Paul? I mean, look at you, brother.
There's a lot of very talented people in this. I mean, like, just some of the guys here in the chat already. I mean, some of these gentlemen, you know who you are, submitted video submissions for Backyard Battles, and that was really cool. Some of you guys are artists, and that, or you guys create cool work. I mean, there's some great dinosaur cross GI Joe action, which I love. Yeah, dude, the GI Joe fan base is a very creative fan base. In fact, I mean, I don't want to just capitalize on GI Joe. I think a lot of the 80s toy fan bases have a lot of creative people there, because those toys, that time, that era, a lot of us felt that need to be creative. I'm not saying that we don't feel it now, but it's just a lot of those properties wanted us to be creative. They didn't just want us to be spoon-fed. So yeah, like, I would say the fan base is definitely very creative. I mean, you're forever seeing customs and fan comics and photography, and the list goes on. I mean, if you're on Instagram for longer than like 3 hours and you follow some GI Joe peeps, you're going to see some creative stuff out there, definitely.
Well, whether it's action figure expert, whether it's Mike Vegas, my God, Mike Vegas, what's up, brother? No, it's just I don't think that we're unique in the fan base. I think we're just a couple podcasters. And I have been a line artist for a long time. I'm not new to the game, am I, Paul?
No, you're pretty old.
I have, and this last chapter, again, deep cut, Blackbook style. I think the page on the screen, you have the tower vision on the other side. And honestly, that's just a little sneak in there for the people that end up enjoying this book. But that right there has research on research on research in it. So yeah, the Black Book is not it's not just a comic. It's definitely a chapter of my life, and there's just as many people on the page that contributed to it as I did. And I don't go for it.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to just see if any of our viewers have any questions or any cool stuff.
Do it, guys. Challenge us.
Hey, Magnificent Kaboom has dropped into the chats.
Update. Damn. All right. Let's see.
That's cool. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, Black Book or GI Joe book related, feel free to ask. Art related, always happy to ask. If you see me doing something and you're like, why am I doing it that way? It's different to how you do it, or maybe you have a better way of doing it. I'll be honest with you, I'm not super receptive to that at the moment, but I will be when I read the comments back later.
I think what I'm looking for, at least looking at your work right now, that I think we need that head to get a little bit bigger now.
Yeah, I'll get there. I just want to just make, dude, I'm still in the sort of happy, sort of I'm having fun with it kind of phase. It's I'm sort of laying in everything. I'm not sort of building the roads yet. Like, if you have to think of SimCity, this is still the period where you got all the money in the game, and
Well, how is it working with another artist? I mean, am I a pain in the ass, or how's that go?
Oh, dude, you're a total pain in the ass. Pain in the butt. No, I'm joking.
I have many people that would echo that.
In the industry, dude, it's whatever, man. It's it is what it is. some days it's just really everybody sees eye to eye, and sometimes we don't. And that was how it was when we were working on this. There were some things that we did with color where I was like, yeah, I'm quite happy with this, and you were like, no, I want to do this, and I was like, feels like effort. But yeah, man, like that's how it is with everybody. It's like it's very seldom. I've never had it where it's like a super easy process. Not because everybody's difficult. I know even I'm difficult with some things, and I mean even professionally, like even now, I mean I'm working with a bunch of guys, and sometimes I will submit stuff, and then they'll be like, "Oh, we need to change this and that," and the next thing, and I'm like, "Okay," and then I change it, and then it's like, "No, actually, you were right the first time," and I'm like, "Okay, well that's nice to hear," and so that just happens, man. It's like whatever.
Yeah, I don't feel totally comfortable critiquing too much. I'm a little more comfortable now that I've done a couple versions of the Blackbook and stuff like that. But it is when you're an artist and you're working with other artists, you're like, oh, this is gonna piss people off. It's gonna make you angry. But
yeah, or you do kind of get to this point where you're kind of like, you know what, I've got to sell it. I've got to sell this to Cujo. Like this is a good idea. I've got to sell it to Cujo. Cujo's just got to listen to me.
and
Hence we have a red. Hence we have a red helmet. Yeah.
No.
Gaz asks, "Hey, Outback Stew, what's up, dude?" Gaz asks, "Cujo, what were and are your inspirations for the Blackbook, and who are some of your favorite artists?" So let's make it really easy. Let's start with your favorite artists first, and then you can get into your inspirations.
Well, obviously Paul Lopser. Have you heard of him? Those questions are too easy. Let's see. No, the Blackbook is Gaz. Thank you, brother, for always chatting. No, I think the Blackbook it's a G.I. Joe conspiracy. It didn't happen on the books, but it's as tangible as any comic you're going to read. The art is legit. The script, honestly, I don't know who wrote that. I didn't. It's too clever. But it's one of those stories where you'll get to the end of it and you'll be like, wait a second, there was characters I needed to look at along the way, that kind of thing. So it's actually a quick read. There's not many words on the page. It's one of those things where it's like, you walk through a church, you see a bunch of stained glass, and then you're gonna have to walk through it again to see what story it tells, that kind of thing.
And your favorite artist? I mean, thank you. I mean, I appreciate the flattery will get you everywhere, but like who out there like spins your art wheel? I mean, I know you're a big fan of John Royal.
Oh, thank you. John Royal is in the Blackbook, guys. The best G.I. Joe artist. Yeah, he did a cameo frame, and he killed it actually.
Yeah, he nailed it.
No, beyond being a good artist, Royal, I would put him up there with he's as talented as probably a McFarlane. Maybe he doesn't have the endurance, but definitely the style. But Royal's just a good guy. I'm not going to embellish. I'll link this to you. It's been a real pleasure, brother. I know you're across the drink. Keep killing it. I would say, how can you not say Todd McFarlane, even though he's very diva-ish in this era?
I love Todd McFarlane. I love that he's diva-ish. I think he has every right to be.
Dude,
fair.
Is that not kind of played though? Is it kind of played that like the creatives that have all the sway are just flexing on people now? Because we don't. There's no more. Everything.
I don't know. I don't get the feeling that McFarlane flexes on people. I think he has a plan and that he knows what he wants. He is just the kind of personality that knows how to get what he wants.
Damn, I think you're right.
He's made a lot of mistakes, dude. Like he's definitely like paid his dues. I mean, he's screwed up a few times, but he's managed to recover from everything. And he's for the most part he's still pretty positive about it. And he's got he's I don't know. I just really dig the dude. He's pretty stable.
Yeah,
and, yeah.
Anytime I criticize somebody, I'll give him a compliment just as quickly. But no, I think McFarlane, what he brought to art was he made every guy dangerous on the screen or on the page because everybody looked good. So I mean, like whether it was Ambush Bug or just some nobody, you felt like they might be able to take out Spider-Man given the right frame or something. But no, McFarlane, the details were insane. I don't know how his hands made it through that era when he was drawing like 6 comics a month. But
Dude, when I was a kid, it was like what is it, 3rd grade, and you know, I loved art. I mean, I was drawing like Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff
my
like that
God,
as
what
a
happened?
kid, and I was picking up the occasional X-Men comic book, and you know, I had the trading cards and whatever. So then one day, some kid, some punk kid, brings this Spawn issue to school, and it was like, I think it's issue 4, and it's got this picture of Violator on the cover. It's just his mouth, it's open. And I remember seeing that and then like asking if I could check out the book, and I totally did. And you know, I was like kind of the resident comic nerd then, so like everybody trusted me to, like, you know, with their comic books, you know, because everybody's like, that's going to be expensive one day, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, just. And then I was going through the book, and I was just like, wow, comic books look like this now. And that changed me forever. And so people can say what they want to say about like guys like McFarlane, but when I saw his work for the first time, that changed it for me. And you know, I know a lot of people's first experience with McFarlane was Spider-Man or Venom, but that was my first experience with him, and it just blew my mind. And then I started seeing McFarlane everywhere. I started seeing him on what you call it, Batman covers. I think there's even a GI Joe cover that he did, not for the mainline series, for some kind of weird Wildstorm kind of spin-off thing. Yeah, anyway, that's one of my major influences. So
GI Gary in the house, by the way. What's up,
hey,
brother?
what's up, Gary?
I think, who else would we put on that list? I mean, I do like a lot of the classic artists. Of course, I'm going to forget them. But yeah, I would say that ultimately my line art style arrived at pretty simple. I wouldn't say I put a whole lot of ink on the page. Like I said, Sholey, maybe a little. I would say Sholey if he was dangerous. That's Cujo. Meaning that, not that Sholey isn't dangerous, because he did do like Satan's Helper or some nonsense back in the day. But no, he's I think my line art's a little more aggressive, but it's approachable. You know, the characters might have an emoji over their head or something like that. So it's I try and walk a style, but the book changes every chapter. The color palettes change, and that's just to keep you off balance, just like any good mystery would. What else we got? What else we got for questions? Can be any questions. This is AMA, guys. Get nuts.
Magnificent Kaboom wants to know if there'll be a comic book of the making of the Black Book. I gotta say, conceptually, that's pretty interesting.
That's funny.
That's very meta.
No, the short answer is no. I think I'll get on the page a couple more times in my life. I'm going to do something called the Blue Book, and I'll do something with my lady as a collaboration. But no, I love art, and I would love for it to be my job. Unfortunately, there's another job that I have to do, or at least that I'm called to do at this time. So
he's not the hero we deserve.
There's no more heroes, brother. There's just everybody, and we're all complicit. But let's see. The Black Book, a book about the Black Book, a video, a documentary. Let's do it in 10 years. The book
we should do like a play motion documentary.
Well, I think I will do a part of their mission with action figures at some point, but no, we'll definitely do a 10-year documentary about the comic that sold 20 issues and then went viral and sold millions. Yeah, that'll work.
Speaking of like cool, sorry, like not to steal your thunder now, dude, but just thinking about cool independent comic books. The new Ninja Turtles, the Ninja Turtles Ronin issue came out yesterday, I believe.
How dare you?
Yeah, it came out yesterday. Sorry, man, but you got to hand it to Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Ninja Turtles is a special thing, and you know what? Like their project started off as a very like, well, you know, this is it. Like this is like literally the last thing we're gonna try and do, and like we're so done. And yeah, and 30 years later, we got Ninja Turtles. And Turtle Power, and the world went green for a while, and it was crazy. And you know what? I don't know how the Turtles do it. I suspect there's a lot of sort of goat sacrifices and whatever that were involved at some point, but the fact that they can reboot the Turtles every so many years, and it's still somehow relevant, except for the last one. But the last one, even though it wasn't that great, it still did well. And yeah, like, how do you nail that? And then they go and release, the original creators going to release a comic book after like 20 years of conceptualizing it, and they're killing it. And it's like, so that could be you, Cujo. That could be you.
Well, there's a lot of different paths. There's more than one way to skin a comic, but no, I think when I think about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think about their origin story, which I don't know if I believe. Like a bunch of guys on the way home from a football game, and they're just like, "How can we make money? Turn comics into Renaissance or Turtles into Renaissance." I don't know. I never really got involved with the Turtles, but I remember their first comic book or their graphic novel during sustained silent reading, and those Turtles kicked hard in that book. So,
dude, the Turtles are hardcore, man.
Yeah, they were.
I actually still can't believe. Like, it's one thing in G.I. Joe, if you think about the G.I. Joe cartoon, how Sunbow is so very different to the comic book, and how it is set in this sort of very utopian sort of world where the only real threat in the world is Cobra Commander, and he's a dunce. Like, the world's greatest problems is that that is threatened by a would-be dictator who's actually, for all intents and purposes, an idiot.
Acts like
yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking Sunbow, so I mean, like, I also want to keep an open mind. Don't get me wrong with that. But the Turtles cartoon, and I mean, I only found this out much later. I actually found this out more as an adult. Is when I got the Ninja Turtles box set, and I was actually watching some of the episodes. Those episodes, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, the original Turtles is kind of corny and blah blah blah," but there are a lot of stories there that actually come straight out of the comic books, like the Fugitoid and the pizza, and geez, there's lots. There's like the pizza aliens. I can't think of their names right now. But a lot of that stuff comes straight out of the actual comic book. But in the comic book, it's almost like the Turtles comic book is for like grown-ups, and the Turtles cartoon was for kids, because the Turtles comic book is pretty rough, actually.
Let's play catch up. Blackbook, the prequel? No, sir. You get dropped in right in the middle. Let's see. Storm Shadow Stu? Huh. Stu, what kind
of? Don't fall for it. Stu's not a ninja.
Well, what's your weapon, Stu? What's your give me your primary, secondary. What's in the packaging? The bubble next to you.
He's kill face.
The art of the deadly look. Let's see. October Guard. Accurate. Let's see. What else did we miss? Is V2 going to be more dangerous? Gary, that's a great question. Gary covering the Devil's Due release, if I forgot to mention. No, I think it's dangerous because of the model. And I will put a spotlight on Gary for a second. He was actually the only one to use a hashtag that I made up called the Cujo method. I'm going to explain that real quick. I think the Cujo method is 3 printings on a private book. The first one is the people that want to support you. You're the Dragon Squad, so to speak. The second printing is hopefully a little bit bigger. The signal gets out. But the third printing being one that's more accessible, and that would be a mainstream publisher, whomever likes the Black Book, so to speak. So hopefully the first 2 printings are there to help the artists. If the second printing were to go viral, that money would be socialized across as soon as we were able to pay for the printing, etc. So that is the Cujo method.
Too far from the truth.
What's that?
I said pray for printing doesn't sound too far from the truth.
No, I got really lucky. If you have a physical copy of the first version, but to answer the question, is it more dangerous? Yes, it is, Gary. Yes, it is. Let's see. But I have a good printer near me, and that was one of the things that kind of gave me the confidence to do a V2 because of the whole, people getting shut down and businesses, etc. So. Let's
Mm.
see. Did
Hard fact.
Disco Stu ever tell us what his
Yes, he
or
did. He did. He said his left hand and his right hand, but only sometimes. No, I'm kidding. No, just his left hand and his right hand. Stu is a dangerous man. You
is he?
know.
He
Yeah,
doesn't have
he.
an
He's a,
avatar. How am I supposed to get that? No avatar.
no, that's how he gets you, dude.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Stu is he's not a ninja because he eats a bowl of ninja O's every morning, which is made out of real ninjas, before he goes to work. So yeah, he's not scared of ninjas.
Power gloves. Power gloves. Yeah. I
Power
gave one
glove.
of my characters electric gloves, so I can't really knock that. Electric touch.
So I'm just gonna talk about the art a little bit quickly, just while I've got a bit of airtime.
Do it, brother.
Yeah, so some of you guys might have noticed I've gone like straight into inking, and that's just because there's no other inker that's going to be picking this up after me, so I have full control of what I want, and because I don't have like the world's time, um, I want to save myself some time and just get the inking sort of in right now and sort of like commit. Like this gets me to commit. So you might see like I'm drawing a little bit slower, but I'm committing to the design that I'm doing, and
Well,
that's very helpful to me right now. Plus, digital inking, I know that it has its naysayers, and quite frankly, I have inked. I've inked my own pages before. I've inked my own artworks before. I love it. I love the smell of ink. I love the feel of inking a page for real. But I really hate the smell of whiteout. No, I'm joking. I just really hate using whiteout to fix a page. And I've seen some professional pages done by some of our favorite artists that have been full of whiteout. And I really like having a great page at the end of the day. So having digital stuff is cool. And then, I'll speak to Cujo. Maybe we can get some of these pages because they are certainly high res enough. We can get some of them printed as like lithos or something, or at least some of the splash pages if you guys are keen.
let me save you a couple minutes. The scorpion is no longer on his back, so you don't have to sweat that.
Ah, dude, I love the scorpion on his back. It's cool. Okay, but I'll take
Okay,
it
I
off.
can live with it. You know what? If it lights a fire under you, I like it.
Mm.
Because this is his card art, so he is flexing
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. So, I mean, listen, if you let me go to town, I would have probably like done a full on like painted artwork as opposed to just doing like a just like a comic style, like prepping him for a comic piece. And I'm enjoying this prepping him for a comic piece because in your original reference page, in your lay-in, you use the word Todd McFarlane somewhere, and that got me thinking. Ooh, I actually wanted to make it. I want to do it like, what if I could make a kind of a Spawn looking kind of page, and that's kind of where my mind is at right now. I have no illusions about being Todd McFarlane or like Todd McFarlane. I hope to have my own speed, but dude, I've looked at his work a lot. I picked up a whole bunch of cheap Spawn comics once upon a time, and they used to be my drawing teachers. I love the dude.
Spawn was
In
a
fact,
little out there for
actually,
me.
I say Spawn, but actually, I say McFarlane, and McFarlane's definitely there. But Greg Capullo, oh my word, can that dude kill? Oh, it's amazing. Anyway,
You know what I
yeah.
realized the other day?
Mhm.
I've never drawn Batman. I think I need to keep that streak intact. No, I agree. There's a couple other artists that are influenced along the way. What else can we chat up? I think yeah, you got the Scorpion. Just scrutinizing here a little bit.
Giving him some pouches now.
I like it. Don't forget to add those. Oh, I guess I don't know if he has his Chinese stars in there, but you probably do need
No,
his
he
throwing
does. I
stars.
do want him in there.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
want his shuriken in there.
I think he had some like he had his throwing stars sticking out of his armor at one point, just kind of like a.
Yeah, I think I
sticking out of
might like pop it here. Like.
I like it.
That's my loose one. I'll do that better just now.
What do we got for
Yeah.
questions? I have to update in an unorthodox way, so I apologize.
Yeah, sorry. That's just because we still. I don't know if it's because we're still using the I don't know if it's because I'm using the free version or if it's just because it's communicating to YouTube and sometimes there's a delay. So
I think MC just mentioned Chance. Was it? Or are you talking about the character Chance? I remember that guy. It was a nothing enemy, and McFarlane made him look like a boss. Let's see, what else can we chat about, Paul?
You know me, I'm excited about toys that are coming out.
Do we have any more questions? I'll put in the links. I'll put my email. If you guys want a late copy, just hit me up. Send me an email, and you'll get one before Christmas.
Yeah, but I've got to start slowly looking at wrapping up because I actually have some other work to do, and I want to get it out of the way because I want to do some final touches on something that I want to release to YouTube tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's some cool stuff. We had an unboxing. I recently, well, when I say recently, just before all this lockdown madness happened, we got somebody sent me a very cool vehicle inbox. I've been wanting to unbox that thing forever, but I wanted to do it justice because it is a special. To me, it's a very special vehicle, and so I'm busy sort of shooting a play motion episode around the unboxing of that. So it's kind of experimental. So I kind of want to start getting into that a little bit. And I can only, so I just got to get rid of some of my real work so that tomorrow I can focus, because Fridays are G.I. Joe book days in this residence, thanks to the Patreons, or to our patrons. So that makes me very happy. So I'm looking forward to that. But unfortunately, I do have to get, the real work done, quote unquote real work. And then if anybody is like curious about the jetpack, the lunge pack, I should have some photos of the prototype up very soon. I'm just waiting for them from the 3D modeler. We're just solving one or two little problems, and then I'll show you guys pictures of it. And yeah, so that's another something from the camp that is for the Berg Force camp. So yeah,
very nice. That dates it. So I'll wrap with something like that. I have some stuff coming up. My channel, I just started my YouTube channel. It's codename Cujo, as you can see. It does have some tangentially related G.I. Joe content. I will be discussing the Crimson Guard in my next video, The Dispute. So
cool.
Feel free to follow that journey if you'd like.
G.I. Gary. Sorry, G.I. Gary just quickly asked, new YouTube review. I'm like 3.75 scale or 3.75 inch scale. Yes, my man. And it's actually courtesy of you. So yeah, that I'm busy on. I'm busy shooting that and getting that sorted. I've also got the classified stuff, which is going to drop very soon. Sorry, I've been a bit precious with it, but I've been doing some funny things to it. So I'm hoping you guys enjoy all of the effort I've been putting into those. And will the lunge fit Valaverse? Yes, it will. The lunge is designed for all the 6-inch figures that are coming out. Well, 6-inch figures with the 3mm backpack peg. So that's the plan for the lunge. Gary, if you want to, I will, or as soon as I've got pictures, I will be in contact with you with regards to that. But yeah, cool. Sorry, Cooch. I just
no. I think you're right. Let's wrap up. It's getting there. If anybody has any other questions, now's that moment. You're sitting on a question. You may not chat with me in a minute. Get it out there. But no, in truth, whether I drop your name or not, thank you for coming on this journey, guys. Whether it's Dustin, whether it's G.I. Gary, whether it's MC, whether it's Gaz, whether it's, you know who you are. No, it's humbling, honestly, to be on a journey that people want to participate in, and thank you to you, Paul, for sacrificing your time, or
it's not sacrificing, it's investing my time, dude.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it, and I know this is mid-afternoon, so yeah, we'll get this up in the timeline, and if it finds you, yeah, there's a lot of comic books. There's only one black book, I promise you that. So we'll make sure and get it to you before Christmas, and you'll stick that right in next to the family Bible, because you'll know when to read it.
Oh, dude, careful, them fighting words.
Hey now.
Hey now. Cujo's controversial. That's why we keep him in a box. I'm kidding. Guys,
All
yeah,
right, man.
I'd like to just echo Cujo's. Sorry, man, I almost let out your real fake name. I'd like to echo Cujo's sentiments there and say thank you all for joining us this evening. I know that this was an impromptu and unplanned live stream, so happy you guys could make it. And you should be able to catch this artwork that I'm busy on in version 2 of the Blackbook. And I love you guys, and you guys rock. Be cool to each other, be excellent, and party on, as Bill and Ted say. And for everything else, there's Berg.
Nice.
Later, guys. Boom. Hold on.